Alright, testing to make sure everything is good to go. This is probably going to be a quick video because I decided to do it by its lonesome rather than combine a bunch of videos together in terms of things. So this has been in the works for a while, so it's taken me the longest time to try to get it together, but I finally got it together, and so let's go ahead and just dive in. Hi everyone, my name is Rose, also known as TA Summers. Welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be my bookish stats and special superlatives for the year of 2024. This is part of my bookish superlative series for wrapping up the year of 2024, and I figured this would probably be one of the last videos that I'm going to do for 2024 content, and it makes sense for me to just kind of encapsulate what my reading year looked like for 2024. We're just going to go ahead and dive in, and I hope you enjoy. So the first thing that I want to mention is, as I mentioned in previous videos, between my favorites, most disappointing, worst, essentially the reread, rewrite, burn challenge. I read a total of 77 books in the year of 2024. I already have those videos uploaded, so you're welcome to go watch them at your leisure. I'm happy to say that I did make my goal of reading over 75 books in 2024, so I was like, yay! I'm glad that I was able to accomplish that. I read a total of 77 books, and this is kind of the breakdown for all of them in terms of age group and genre. Well, I think these are mostly age group, and I also do it by genre, but let's start with age group breakdown to kind of make it easier. I read a total of 19 young adult books, 38 adult fiction books, 7 non-fiction adult books, 4 middle grade, 2 children's, and those 2 were picture books, 3 technically new adult books, and 4 graphic novel or comic books. So that's kind of like the lay of the land in terms of what the age categories I read in 2024 were. Now for genre breakdown, the vast majority of the books that I read in 2024 were considered contemporary, so I'm not even going to count them in terms of things, but I am going to count the ones that are a little bit more sectioned off in terms of things. For historical, I technically read a total of 3 books that counted under historical. For fantasy sci-fi, I read a total of 13. And I counted like either or sci-fi or fantasy leadings. For romance, I read a total of 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 31 romance books in 2024. So that was quite a significant chunk. 7 nonfiction reads, as I mentioned. 3 books total in 2024 that fell under horror. And for mystery thriller, I read a total of 5 books for that genre. So overall, in terms of the spread of different genres that I read in 2024, that's kind of what it broke down to. Now, as far as star ratings goes, I had an overall really good reading year in terms of things, and I'm going to kind of just go through the spread of what my star ratings look like across the 77 books that I read in 2024. I had a total of 11 5-star reads, which that is very good for me. I don't give out a lot of 5-star reads, so I had a very good reading year on that term in terms of things. For 4.5 stars, I had a total of 6 books that fell under that rating. 4-star, a lot of them in 2024. I had a total of 24 books that were rated 4 stars in 2024. So that was very good as well. 3.5 stars, a total of 7 books. 3 stars, total of 16 books. 2.5 stars, a total of 3 books that I rated as that. 2 books that rated 2 stars. 5 books that rated 1.5 stars. And then 3 books that fell under 1-star ratings in terms of things. So overall, pretty good reading year for me. Like I enjoyed the vast majority of the books that I picked up in 2024. So that is pretty awesome. So now I'm going to get into the special superlatives for 2024 that I wanted to name in this respective video. These are giving props and like just basically like some fun categories that I decided to do for 2024 to highlight some of the books that I had been reading. So first of all, if I were to give a favorite cover for 2024 in terms of one of the books that I read, I would give it to Jaden Powers and the Inheritance Magic by Jamar J. Perry. I'm not 100% sure who the cover artist is for this, but they did a phenomenal job of not only the appeal of the colors schemes and also the design of the character, even down to the garments that Jaden is wearing on the cover. More books like that, please. It was a wonderful middle grade, a wonderful start to a middle grade series, and I'm definitely looking forward to picking up more from Jamar J. Perry. I hope that there are more books to come in this respective series. I really enjoyed it for what it offered, and that like the cover definitely sold me on being able to pick it up and give it a chance in terms of reading it, and I enjoyed the read. Favorite guilty pleasure read of 2024. In other words, this is a category for a book that I liked that I probably shouldn't have liked in terms of things. I would probably say it would be You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. Was that the greatest book in terms of the books that I read for 2024? No, but I was highly entertained. I'll say it like that. I was entertained in terms of how that book did the mystery elements in terms of following a woman who ends up at a B&B and staying with a guy like a guy like who has way too many secrets in terms of things. They end up having a fling, but there are so many questions in terms of what happened to the previous people who stayed at that particular Airbnb, and everything happens. That's all I can really say about that. But I would say my favorite guilty pleasure read of 2024 was probably You Shouldn't Have Come Here by Geneva Rose. Favorite audiobook narrated. This one was an easy one for me. I am going to give it to Jalen Hall, and you can see a picture of him up in the corner here for your reference. Jalen Hall, you might know if you have seen the TV series All American. It is on Netflix. Jalen definitely got my attention in terms of his narration for Blood at the Root by Ladarian Williams. This is the cover up here for your reference. He did a phenomenal job of narrating the characters between Malik as well as narrating the overarching story for Blood at the Root. That I was really impressed with his performance of that. But I also ended up realizing that he also narrated one of my other favorite books of 2024, which was The Crossover by Kwame Alexander. Jalen did a phenomenal job of narrating the respective characters and the overarching story of that. So I'm definitely looking forward to being able to pick up more books narrated by Jalen Hall in the future. I thought those two performances from him were very phenomenal, and I'm glad to say that he's one of my favorite audiobook narrators of 2024, and I thoroughly enjoyed those books narrated by him. Favorite underrated book of 2024. I think this is probably going to come as no surprise to anyone who in terms of like my overarching reviews, and also had heard me mention this book before on the channel. I enjoyed this YA read. I don't hear a lot of people talking about it in terms of things, and I think it's going to be one of those ones where, like, for a contemporary YA fiction where it deals with its respective subject matter in a way that makes sense, and also it has appeal to its respective audience. I would say that How to Lose a Best Friend by Jordan K. Casimir deserved a lot more attention than what it got, but it was released in 2024 last year. I did not hear a lot about it in terms of things, and I definitely want to give it due attention in terms of a recommendation for people to pick up and try on their own. I gave a thorough review of it on the channel already. I will link it in the cards above for your reference. And yeah, I definitely think it had a lot to say in terms of not heeding to the expectations of, just because you're a friend to somebody doesn't mean, like a longtime friend doesn't mean that that necessarily ends up in terms of a romance. And the feelings that, in terms of how things worked out between the teens, felt very realistic in that respective work. So I would say that was my favorite underrated book of 2024. And the biggest surprise read of 2024, and I would say for my surprise read, this is a book that I picked up that I wasn't expecting to like, that I actually did end up enjoying quite a bit. I would say The Corner of Olive and Oak by Aubrey Penn did a phenomenal job in terms of things. Like, I had read one other book from Aubrey Penn before, which was Homecoming Season, which was earlier in the year, and I wasn't really feeling that particular read in terms of things. So I was like, okay, let me see if I can find something else from this author who that might appeal to me more. And I was very pleasantly surprised by The Corner of Olive and Oak. I really liked the chemistry between the two characters. I liked the dialogue between them. I liked the story, and it was just the right length in terms of being able to enjoy that story for what it was in terms of things. And I talked about it on the channel as well in terms of being a novella that I really appreciated. It was a very, very short read. And I also enjoyed the audiobook for it in terms of things. So yeah, biggest surprise read of 2024 for me was The Corner of Olive and Oak by Aubrey Penn. And I definitely recommend it. So I think that's it for my bookish stats and superlatives. Again, very quick video, and I wanted to show some love for some of the books that I was able to pick up in 2024 with you all. I think the December wrap up is probably the last thing that I'm going to upload to the channel with respect to 2024, and then I can finally move into 2025 in terms of things that I have been able to do this year. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button, and hit the notification bell to be informed of when I post new videos. Thank you again so much for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I'll see you next video.